Hi, this is just a really quick walkthrough video about how to get started with eesel. We're going to have a few videos like this in our eesel Academy series, so you'll see many videos coming up about how to integrate, how to train, and get the most out of eesel. To start with, eesel is an AI teammate, so you should really think of it as just a human member of your team that you're adding to different platforms like your support platform, your Slack, connecting to platforms like Shopify as well. The goal here is to use eesel like you would a new employee. So you want to give it some info about, what its job is, give it the tools it needs to complete its job, so connections to different platforms like Shopify, Zendesk, wherever, and then just kind of let it go and operate in the background autonomously, proactively, or on demand. Within a few minutes, you'll have an eesel AI agent trained on some public knowledge of yours and some test questions to see how it goes, basically. Of course, to get started, you just need to head to the website, hit the link in the top right, and add in your email address. Grab the code. Once you're into the eesel dashboard, you'll see that this is where everything can be configured. All of your integrations, of course, you can connect any of them at any point during your trial. There's no gating for, paid versus trial, so you can really test the full experience, including custom APIs, fully in the trial that you have for 7 days. But I think the easiest way to start would just be to chat with eesel. Eesel is, like I said, your teammate, so you can just tell it what you'd like it to do. For example, I want to crawl our public help center, and I'll just give it the URL there. What it's going to do is head straight to that URL, search the sitemap, and find the pages that it can crawl and add to this agent as a source of knowledge. eesel is suggesting that we do the full connection, but if you aren't ready to ask your team for authorizing a full connection with Zendesk directly, we can just crawl the Help Center articles. The difference is that if you were to connect Zendesk directly, you would get things like past tickets, macros, and other direct integration benefits, but it's totally fine to just crawl the Help Center for now to just get a quick test going. Okay, so we have now finally finished crawling the Zendesk page. It's added it as a website URL to our sidebar there, so we can see which pages have actually been indexed, and I can see that it's grabbed each of these ones here. I can open them if I want to check, what it is that they've actually indexed, but we've labeled them pretty clearly here. Now that the Help Center articles have been added, I'm going to test it with a few questions to see how it performs. So I might ask it, let's test it on a question about, I signed up last week and we've barely used the app. Can I get a refund? So eesel is going to search the information we've just added to it and give us a sample answer that it would provide to the customer if it was deployed live as well. So we've got the answer here drafted. You can copy and use it if it's actually a question you want to answer. And it also has the link to the source that it used. So I can click that and see exactly where it has pulled this response from. Now, I kind of like this response, but it feels like maybe it's a bit lengthy. I kind of want to make it super short and sweet and maybe have some more clarifying questions. So I would give it this feedback. I want you to answer refund questions in 2 sentences with a question at the end clarifying why they are requesting it. And make sure you have a greeting at the start. So I've given it this feedback directly. It should then be able to understand that in future, questions like this should be answered like that. So what it's doing right now is actually updating its own instructions. In plain text, I've just given it the feedback, and it's actually then added this component to the instructions. You can see here in the instructions directly, it now has a section about refund replies. You can go in and manually edit this or add your own instructions directly, and this is what it will use to help respond to questions, or you can use it to tell it what actions to use, that kind of thing as well. But whatever you can do manually here, you can also ask the agent to do for you. Now that we have updated the instructions, let's see if we can ask it the same question in a new chat here. So I'll just copy paste and send it through and see if it's going to use the instructions correctly in this new response. And there you go. So it has given us some clarifying questions. It's definitely made it shorter, and it has added a greeting at the start. This instructions panel is a really big context window for the agent. So you can add in workflows, you can add in guardrails, the number of times it can attempt to answer a question before it escalates, how to escalate, who to escalate to. So you can give it all of this context that you would, say, a new employee, kind of like its handbook. And that's what it's going to follow when it's actually answering questions and assisting customers or team members. You can ask eesel to create a full template here for you to fill in workflows, or give it the instructions like, this is our existing documentation that we have for all of our support workflows or our refund workflows and our policies. Can you please use this to generate an instructions panel that will follow these workflows for each of them? So, of course, you can then have these instructions be an adapted version of that for your teammate, your eesel AI teammate, to start following that, much like your human agents already have been. You can create multiple agents as well. So you may have a customer facing agent or an internal facing agent that has separate knowledge, completely separate instructions and automations. So you can make sure that they have no overlap, and you have like very distinct personalities and context for each of your agents as well, for the channel and the audience that you're looking at. After this point, the next few videos are going to go over deploying live and having drafts set up in your actual platforms. So your team won't need to come into the eesel dashboard. They'll be able to see these drafts live on their support platforms or in Slack or the other platforms that you want to connect. So we'll go over connecting some of these and seeing what that looks like live with automations and skills and reporting and all of that as well. So look for the next few videos and we'll go over all of it. But hopefully this was a good starting point for you to test some questions on your real knowledge in just a few minutes.